My name is JoAn Fuller, and I was a Harvey girl in the mid-1940s. I worked at the La Posada in Winslow, Arizona. Well, the La Posada sat right close to the railroad tracks, but you had Highway 66 running on the other side of it. If you came on the train, you definitely had to come into the Harvey house to go wherever you were going. And if you ever came in off the highway, again, you had to park out front and come in that door. At La Posada, I worked behind the counter. There was two big horseshoe type counters, and they all had this beautiful tile tops on them, squares of tile. And our shifts were busy times that they would be busy. Somebody had already was making the coffee. You had to have that famous coffee ready. And when they opened the doors, and then the customers started coming in. But for the most part, we served the Santa Fe employees. We did have other people that did come in, tourists and what have you, that ate the breakfast and went on. We had to wash our uniforms ourselves. It was a white tailored blouse, heavy cotton material. And then the skirt was a wraparound skirt. It was reversible, so you could get probably 2 or 3 days wear out of it. And then we had a little black bow tie. They had to be ironed. It was before polyester. The one day that they came to us 3 girls and asked us if we'd like to go to Gallup and work during the ceremonial, because they went on for a week. So they come around and they told you, Wednesday is your day to go to the ceremonials. So they saw to it that everybody that were, all 3 employees, did go to the ceremonials one day. And so that seemed to be kind of a big deal. And so we said, we said we'd be happy to go. So Norma Jean, Colleen, and myself, they put us on a train, going to Gallup. And when we got there, we got off, and they had somebody to meet us. And we sat in a box seat, And I think there's a few dignitaries there with us, but anyway, we felt pretty important sitting in the box seats. We had always worked the counter in Winslow, but here what they had done, they converted one of their banquet rooms, or a couple banquet rooms, into individual tables. And so therefore, it was more family friendly and all. Anyway, they gave us our uniforms for the week, which was a squaw skirt, a squaw top, and a concho belt. This is a concho belt, and it's all silver. There is no turquoise in it, but this is like the one that we were given to wear during the ceremonial. And we worked 3 shifts every day. And there was one night when it was so busy and everybody was out of sorts. And there's Mr. LaBounty, Miss Severson, who was our head waitress. She always kind of feared when he came to Winslow. Mr. LaBounty's coming, And so you better straighten up. Well, anyway, all of a sudden that night, when it was so hectic, somebody sat down and started playing the piano, and it was Mr. LaBounty. And he just played the gayest tunes and things, so we just really enjoyed it. And everything got simmered down. You kind of glided through from the kitchen to your tables, and I don't know, it was a good feeling. I don't recall very much training at all, to tell you the truth. Our wages were very little, because they knew he was going to make tips. But I felt like I had a lot of money at that time. Well, I went roller skating nearly every night. I met my husband, Lynn, roller skating. He was kind of a show-off. Well, when this Glenn Ray, he was smaller than Lynn, and they would clear the rink, and Lynn would get Glenn's and put his feet up under his arms, and then he'd start going in a swirling circle, but Glenn had a match in his teeth, and when that match lit, then it was over. My husband was a mining engineer for the railroad. They wanted somebody who could do the drafting and the surveying, and Lynn could do both of those. The miners actually worked for Operation Haystack, but that's where they first found the uranium. Haystack Mountain is still there. They didn't blow it all up. But like my husband, he still worked for the railroad. You know, they had a mining division, and so that's how we wound up to Pruitt, New Mexico, where there was 2 phones in the community, and Pruitt 1 and Pruitt 2. People ask me what my address was. I'd always say it's Operation Haystack, Pruitt, New Mexico, and they go, what? I had 2 boys that were 3 and 6, and I lived in a boxcar on the main line of the AT and SF, that's Streak and Santa Fe Railroad. My husband had really fixed it all up nice on the inside. It looked like the devil on the outside, but that wasn't, but anyway, we really made it nice on the inside. So I raised these 2 boys with the main line of the railroad running right behind our house, and out in front was Highway 66. You could hear the cars along Route 66. If we were having guests or anything, and then we're having a conversation, you knew when that train got where they couldn't hear you anymore. So everybody just shut up. Okay, it's gone. Now we just take up the conversation again. But that's the way it was. Well, when we were living in the boxcar, and my husband, he wanted to get me a necklace, and I knew nothing about it. So anyway, one night, he told me that he was going someplace, and I know he took the company Jeep and left, and it got really late, and I finally went up and I asked the Zwickys, I said, you know where Lynn is? And they said, oh, he's over visiting with Mr. Evans. Everybody knew that Lynn was going to go get this necklace that night. He was going to go shop for it, I guess. And he drove out onto the reservation to Smouse's trading post. And then he waited while Smouse strung it. So when he got home, though, the others already clued him in. So you were over at Mr. Evans's visiting. And so, and I didn't know anything about the necklace until Christmas Day. But I fell in love with it from the very beginning.